Nemetschek was founded by Professor George Nemetschek in 1963. The establishment has many non-profitable foundation and is a promoter of education, science, art, and culture. Nemetschek advocates open BIM standards and interoperability. We provide a software solution across life cycle of a building, right from planning to design to construct. Softwares are developed by market pioneers and they understand the pain areas of the industry and the challenges. Nemetschek spend almost 24% of its revenue in research and development, and we have put a lot of resources on AI development. So we are almost a 1 million company. We have 14 strong solution, 14 strong solution across 4 segments. We have several million users and 3,600 employees worldwide. So along the 4 segments, we have planning and design, we have build and construct, operate and manage, and media and entertainment. So across these 4 segments, we have all these 14 solutions. So in that, under planning and design, we have Allplan, Risa, Graphisoft, Solibri, and Vectorworks. Then under Nemetschek Engineering, we have Freelo and Sia. Then under built and construct, we have Bluebeam and Navaris. Then under operate and manage, we have Crim Solution and Spacewell. Under media and entertainment, we have Maxon. And there is a horizontal unit also, that is digital twin built up business unit. In that, we have DRofus and DTwin. So along all these solutions in India, currently we have bought these 7 software solutions. So the first is Vectorworks, which is generally used for concept design, landscape, and interior design. Then we have ArchiCAD, that is generally used for your schematic and detailed design. So I just update you that the new Indian Parliament building was made on this software. Then we have Risa, that is a software which is used for structural and load analysis. Then we have Allplan, which is used for detail engineering, concrete, rebar, roads, bridges, precast detailing. Then we have SDS, the topic for today. So it is steel detailing software. Then we have Bluebeam, which is a document management software, and a Solibri, which is a rule-based checking software. Both the software, Bluebeam and Solibri, are not the model rendering software. These are for management. And we also have a CDE platform, that is Common Data Environment. We have BIM Plus, which is a cloud collaboration platform where you can upload your model and you can share with your customers, and you can have basic option for doing any markup or make an error list, those kind of things. So topic for today, SDS. SDS is a leading provider of steel detailing solution, which have automated connections and fabrication intelligence. So the benefit of using SDS is you can deliver project at a faster speed. We have an enhanced user interface, improved performance, expanded integration, and you can save a lot on project ROI. So today's topic, we are going to cover all these issues or all these agendas. So today my focus is a lot of time, a lot of customers come and they complain that in my model I have this issue, or generally if they convert a job, or while doing also a job, I have in this webinar kept a few tips and tricks where they can expedite their work. So the first topic is creating a clean seed template. So I always recommend users to switch to the latest version of SDS, because nowadays fabricators are using advanced machines and which are handling of capable more data. They handling capable of handling more data. So the older files formats like KSS were not capable enough. So the latest file like your Stromis or your PowerFab or your Zeman export. So all these kind of file export which these machines need can easily be taken out from the latest version. Also, you have a toolbox option from where you can directly download these plugins and integrate with your main license, and you can take away these export file which your fabricator needs. Then one more thing I want to let know, that 2022 and all the previous version are on a different platform, and 2023 and latest version are on a different platform. So, uh, in 2023, we have upgraded the Python version to 3.10. Okay. So if the best case is if you're doing any job in 2022 and lower version, try to close it in those versions only. Don't try to upgrade it into the latest, because in that condition, you might face a lot of issues or, a lot of errors from the system. In some condition, if there is no option, you have to convert it. Try to upgrade your Python script. Okay. I'm going to cover everything in coming slides. Okay. You also have to note that whenever you convert a job, all these settings will not get converted. Okay. So any templates or scripts will not get converted. Okay. Any newly added project settings. So for example, in previous version, suppose the joist are not in solid. Okay. But in the latest version, the joist are shown into solid. So those properties on, gauges. So if you take any older version, the joist gauge is different, but the latest version, they have SGI has revised the joist gauge. So all those kind of setups will not be, transferred if you are copying the old data. Okay. Then the plugins will not get transferred, and the material files like your joist values and all. Okay. So it's better not to, drag all the old configuration. It's better to create a new seed file. So regarding the Python script, which I was explaining, so there is a job which was in 2022. So 22 and older version use legacy custom properties, while the latest use the modular properties. So when you convert it, you may feel like you receive this kind of error, Python error in module. So, you to update this, what you have to do is you can go into your C program data, SDS2 version 23, for example, then system data. There you will have your Python, file. Okay, .exe file. You just have to run that and you have to upgrade your file. It will get integrated into. Generally, if you download any new version, this Python file automatically will get, installed along with the new version. But in case if you get any error, you can always choose this. The 22 and older version use Python 2.7.2 version, but the latest is using 3.10. So this is one area where you can, avoid the error in a project. Okay. Then regarding the creating a new job file. So there are three methods. Generally, what we do is the first is creating a entire job from as a new. Second is copying a seed project and then renaming it. And the third is, reusing the old project and then renaming it. So we will cover all the three options. So the first is if suppose you making a new job. So, try not to convert any old plugins, outdated plugins or scripts. Okay. Always, uh, take a printout of your project settings of the customer. Okay. And then, do a fresh clean start. Okay. Then, always when you're doing it, try to keep your favor as default or, modular. Do not copy any custom properties. Okay. The second thing is if suppose you are doing with a seed file, so from the ground up, same thing you have to always have a printout of your project setting, try to go through all the project setting. It's a one-time exercise, but it can save huge time. Okay, because I see a lot of detailers who are using old keyboard configuration and old project seed model which is from 2014 or 15, and lot of enhancement is done in SDS in these 10 years. So if you are going to use those old files, you are not utilizing or able to utilize the latest features. You will be only restricted to the what that old file is capable of. Okay. And the third option, if suppose you convert a job file, okay, do not choose the legacy property. So I'll just give a demo for that. Okay, how you can make a seed file. So let's start. Sorry, I just got to know that the sound was not coming in my video. So I'll just play that again. Okay. So, so let's talk about the seed model. So always I recommend if you are doing any job in 2022 and lower version, so keep them separate. If you are doing any job in 2023 and above version, keep them separate. The reason is in both the versions, the Python 5 is upgraded, okay, and the platform is also changed. So there might be a chance when you convert it, you may have a lot of errors and issues, okay. So if, and one more thing, do not convert a job directly from like 2017 to 2023, okay. There is a huge gap, okay, and that can create a lot of issues in the project. So if you are, for example, there is a situation where you have to, convert a 22 or 20 job into 23 or 24. So always update the Python 3.10 version in your system. Second thing, okay, whenever you're making a seed model, okay, so that is one thing. Now, if you have to make a clean seed model, you have starting a fresh job in 2023. Do not use a old file from 2022. So what you have to do is whenever you're making a new job, okay, so let's job seed, okay, and you're copying a job. So just skip these custom old legacy properties, okay, because in latest version we have modular properties. So that's why you just skip this, okay. Rest everything you can set as per your fabricator. Try to see you have the latest 2025 or 24 material file, okay. Then you know you can go to your project settings, okay, and you can take print out of these two settings. Try to keep your settings as clean as possible, so it will be helpful for you. So for example, I'll give you a reference. So in older joist settings, joist gauge is different, but in recent 2024 the joist gauge is upgraded as per SGI. So these kind of things can mismatch. So then what you can do is you, whenever you're importing a job, okay, so what you can do is while importing a job, skip, do not select the plugins, do not use old plugins, okay. Then what you can do, you can go to your settings, you can go to custom properties, you can activate a properties if required, like your SDS2 architect, okay, contractor, okay, and any detailer, engineer, any information you want to populate into your system, okay. So you can directly activate it, okay. So for example, I want contractor name, I can select, I can activate it, okay. I activate it, okay. Do not deactivate anything in middle of the project. So once you activate any property, so what will happen? Currently, I am not restarting the system, but generally when you edit any screen and you go to the properties, basically this is where you have your custom properties. So you can have your detailer name and contractor name, architect name. So nowadays, a lot of MRP softwares need this information, like your PowerFab and Stromus. So all those informations you can directly populate into your model, and when you're exporting your PowerFab file, all these data will be feeded into your file. And also one more thing, all the contractor information which you're putting here will be also reflected onto your sheet outlines. Then there is one more thing I want to update you. If you go onto your plugin defaults and your command plugins, you have all the toolbox item which you have downloaded from the SDS site. All the setup is here, default setup. So for example, if you go to PowerFab, so you can see you can set the default settings here, like where you want to save your file, where it will be the file name, whether you want to have the data, all the data, or from the choosing data, okay. You can exclude the zone data. So basically you can ask your fabricator about his requirement, and then you can basically set everything here. So whenever you are sending any file, it will be as per the client standard. And you can do the same with the other options also, like your zoom in export, and your AGX, sorry, the galvanization export options. So, okay, so the next thing what I'm going to cover is, I just want to make sure I am on the right. Okay, so fine. So next thing that we are going to cover is the lightning mode. Okay, so in lightning mode, since the platform is changed, so now we have introduced a ribbon configuration, and you can also go through on the SDS Learn Now portal from where you can learn how to use the lightning mode. One update, SDS Classic mode is going to retire next year. So 2025 is the last version where we are providing the Classic mode. So I always recommend the new version is going to release in 2025 September. So it's better you start practicing, okay, how to use a Classic mode, and at least you will go along. By the time, if your fabricator asks to work on the latest version, at least you will be handy with the Lightning mode. I will just help you to how to use the lightning board on a basic uh, basic functionality. Okay, so let's talk about the lightning mode. So where you can activate is, you can go to your utilities user and site option, and in that you will have your option for changing to classic mode or the lightning mode. So currently SDS has changed its platform, and they have changed it to lightning mode. After 2025, with 2026 version, we are going to discontinue the classic mode. So if you go on to the lightning mode, I will just explain how to use the lightning mode. So basically all the setups and settings are same. The only thing what happened is they have, made it more easy. So they have segregate everything under these labels. So if you go on to the layout, you will have your, you know, uh, selection erection view option, then save area option. You're making your grid lines, curved grid lines. This is for taking the view, plan view and your side view. Then this is again, going back to unchanged view, undo view. This is not to surface. This is construction line mode, erase construction line, circular construction line. Then this is member mode, where you can add any member. So you have your column, add column, beam, braces, horizontal braces and joist. Other than that, you have option for your like anchor bolt tools, anchor bolt rod, stair, cage ladder, post stop, girds, hoppers, chutes, or your purlins. Then you have quick addition tool also, like your stair quick add tool, where you have to just choose the nosing points. Then you have your flat handrail option, and you have, you can directly add a stringer to stair option. This is all concrete, reference material, like your wall, your cast in place column, cast in place beam, your concrete column, and precast single T, double T, hollow cores. Then you can add your footing and concrete grades and slabs. If you miss anything, you can always go here and you have all the entire menu for you. So if you go and if try to add any column, so you have these options. Do not have to go to member edit option. You can directly choose here itself. You can add the profile size. Okay. Then this is for the connection type. So it's the auto connection, then user defined connection. Then this, for example, since I do not have a channel, I'll just add a channel and I'll show you what I'm trying to say. So see. I'll just select the C. So now I have option for, back to back material. I have option for my top and bottom elevation. Okay. So top and connection also you can define. Then you can rotate the column. Okay. This thing, if you see one small toggle, if you open this, so what will happen whenever you know, on this toggle, so whenever you add a member, it will open the material edit window. And this infinity means you can, repeat the member addition. Okay. So this is how you can do that. Then similarly, you have material option, where you have your, add a plate, flat bar, bent plate, okay, grating and decking, clevis turnbuckles you can add. Then you can have components also, so you do not have to add it separately. You have direct components for adding safety hole to a column, or safety tabs, okay, to a column, nailer holes. Then in bottom reinforcement also you can add a cap plate and base plate stiffness. You can add penetration to the reinforcement to any penetration in main material. You can add column stiffness, add column stiffness to beam, and sorry. Okay, then you have your all concrete options. Then you have your rebar system option. This through this you can add a cap plate, shear key, or beam flange to flange connection. You can define. You can add a pour stop. Okay, this is for adding hole bolts and uh, weld studs. Then this is drawing option. One thing, since I'm using a complete license, so that is why I have all these options available. Else it will only be available in your drafting module. So if placement you see, you can add your erection drawing. You can read the labels, you will understand. So if you have members, so you can basically load the members, okay, and sheet load and detail the members. This is for material, you're detailing the material. Then this is for sheets, is sheet loading, auto sheet loading. This is for detailing your assemblies and all. Then these are basic tools. Then this is basically your display option, like your status display. You can go to display options. You can choose material opacity. Then this is for multi-user window. So if you click this, the window will divide into two parts. That you can do. Then this export and report option is the same what you have on your home screen. So here you have import, export, and report. So these the same options you will have here. And the last is the toolbox option. So in toolbox, whatever toolbox you have downloaded from the SDS site, all will be populated here and you can use them. Rest, if suppose anything you are not able to find, now we have a search option. So for example, I search option for material fit exact. So EX. So what will happen? All the options which have this exact word will come here. So material fit exact. Now, if I choose this, you can see here this will color. Okay. So if I choose this, okay, so you can see this show the interactive Python this thing, or toggle or add existing. So it is in material option. So if I go here and if I again choose this, you can see this box is highlighted. So if I go here, you can see where the option is. So the next option, next topic I want to touch base is toolbox items. So I always recommend to use toolbox item. If you are on the current subscription, you can always use these toolbox items, and they can streamline your work. There are a lot of toolbox items which might help you to streamline your work. So if I go here and if I open the SDS website, what you can do is you can go to support and you can go to SDS2 toolbox. So you can see there are a lot of toolbox items which are already pre-available. Okay. So for example, a lot of places you have issues that AISC and CASC material size are not up to the current date. So if you install this plugin, so if you go to read more, so I'm just opening it. So you can see in download option if it is available for 2024 version. Okay, and so this will have all the AISC 16th latest edition and CIS2 12th edition. Okay, so in 2025 it is inbuilt, so you do not have to install that. But if you're using 24 version, try to install this plugin. Then similarly you have other also plugins. If you are using any Bentech machine, you can install this plugin. If suppose you are using no paint surfaces, okay, so you can install this plugin. How does it work? You have a small video for that. You also can see, okay, what all version it is available. You can also have a small documentation. Okay, so what this tool will do, it will basically mark a thin dummy layer on your material, and you can mark it as no paint. You can choose which surfaces you have to include, and when you detail it, so it will be marked in your detailing sheets. So will not be any double work. Your detailer do not have to do it again. You have direct component for doing your leveling plates. Okay, you can have bearing plates. Then you have your MITech plates. Okay, then you have your EMI piece mark export. You have your cost estimators. You have your dimension clearances. If you feed that, automatically dimensions will come. Okay, so dimensioning a member, Galva check. This is a good component. So if you see, if you import this and you install it in your SDS version, so it can check the kettle fitness. Then it will automatically provide proper vent hole and drain holes. Okay, it can check the kettle crane capacity. Okay, ungalvanized materials. All those things you can check using this tool. So and if you suppose install any tool, so when you go onto your SDS software, so if you open your model, so if you go onto a toolbox option, you can see all those toolbox items are available here. So you can check your, all the nearby members clearances, your cost estimator, then your BIM upload option. Then this is the galvanization tool is there. You have your Zeman exports, shrunken connection, okay, power fab export. So all these tools will be available here, which you can directly, you can use to, expedite your work. Okay. So one thing I want to update is, you know, uh, there are a lot of people who are complaining that they are not able to use the toolbox item. So few things which you have to consider while using toolbox. First thing, if you are having a subscription license, there is no issue. You can use the toolbox item. If you are having a perpetual license, okay, so you should be on the current SSA software subscription agreement or AMC. It should be renewed. It should be up to date. Okay. Then go to your this http id.sds2.com dot organization admin. Okay. So what will happen? You can also, if you do not have access, you can directly go to your licensing and you can go to your organization admin onto the site directly. So once you open it, you have your Tendu licensing management portal. So, if suppose if your all licenses are on current, there is no issue. Okay. But for example, if you are out of 10 licenses, only 4 licenses are on current version. Okay. Try to make a separate group. Okay. So from your group option, if you see here, try to create a separate group for your current license and not current license. Okay. So if you see here under licensing, I have my toolbox. Okay. So if you double click these 3 points, you have your toolbox usage. So for example, I have my name here. So if a license is allocated to me and it is a current, so what I will do, I will reserve this, okay, for me. So similarly, you can reserve the current license to a user. And in that case, all the non-current license will be in a separate group and all the current license will be in a separate group. Okay. And you can also allocate those current license to, people who are frequently using the toolbox items or your team leaders or your senior modelers or checkers. And you can also allocate this toolbox to them. Okay. There is one more thing I want to update about the license management thing. So, sorry. So, what we have done is to make the security updates and enhancement in license system. And, we have updated and introduced in 2025 version. But there is a catch that it is not backwards, okay, compatible. So in that condition, for example, if you are opening any license, for example, 22, 23, 24 on one system, it will consume one license, okay? And if you open any license above that, like 25, 26 coming versions, that will consume another one license, okay? So, if suppose you have all these license open, then only one license is consumed. But if you have 24 and 25 simultaneously open, so it will consume 2 licenses and it is going to happen in, coming versions also. So always make sure if suppose you are getting any error that license, uh, are not available, those kind of errors. Try to look into your team systems whether anyone has opened 2024 and lower versions and simultaneously has also opened 2025 version. Okay, make sure about that. Then, there is one more good option, anchor bolt rod tool, which I just showed in while showing the lightning configuration. You can go here and you can, just in your material, you have this anchor rod tool. So, anchor rod tool, how it will help you is, for example, if you're adding any anchor rods, okay. So if I go here and if I go to anchor rod tools, okay, so a window will come like whether you want it to add to member, material or holes, okay. So if you choose member and if I press OK and if I go on to the columns, okay, so if I have these all columns identical, so what I'll do, I will just select these two columns, okay, or I can select multiple columns also. I can press OK. So one window will open, okay, where I can define my, embedment length, projection length, and all. Many time in older versions, there was a catch that, somebody has entered a wrong projection length and embedment length is wrong or some issue. Here, if suppose I have a 1 feet 9, okay, as my this, so you can see all the other fields are in red, means there is some issue. Until unless everything do not match, these fields will not become correct again. So you cannot mess with your anchor bolt rod, sorry, anchor bolt length, or embedment length, projection length, overall length. Then you have all the option for adding a straight J hook or stud type of rod. Then what is the grade? What is the finish you want? Okay, how many nuts and washers you want on the top of the base plate, bottom of the base plate, and in concrete. Okay, so you can define that. Now, what is the advantage of this is you will always have like piece marks. Okay, many time people say that in my anchor rod, because I changed this, so piece mark was not clubbed, or all the four holes have different piece marks. So those kind of errors you will not have through this. And if suppose through that column schedule, okay, all these anchor bolts are like, so you can directly club those members and you can add through these bolt rod anchor rod tool. Also, in embed, do not try to add it manually, because if you rotate and if you copy the material, it get the material piece mark are allocated in a different way, or they are not like. So always try to use embed schedule, okay, where you can define all the properties, whether you want it outside the wall, inside the wall, whether you want a DBA bar or a stud, or or just a nailer hole. So all those things you can define here. Okay, now we have an interactive page where you can see the images also. So in that condition you have identical piece mark will be applied to entire embeds, and it will not create any issue, and it will expedite your work. Then the next thing I want to update is, okay, how SDS can handle complex geometry. So now in SDS, the latest lightning mode, you have direct components for adding your anchor rod, stairs, ladders, railings, post stops, hoppers. So these components will help you to handle miscellaneous steel in a more capable way. So I just show you a video how easy it is to add a stair in SDS, using these components. Sorry. So what I did is I just selected, I have imported the drawing into SDS. Then through this quick addition tool, I will just choose the nosing points. Okay. And the stair tower will get erected. For adding handrail also, you have a direct component for adding handrail to a stringer. Using that, you can directly add a railing. Later you can adjust. This is just a skeleton. You can adjust the railings and other things. You can move the entire stair, okay, if you want. So, this is the most time consuming task as a detailer, and SDS using the component makes it very easy. I'll just show you. So, so if you have any, you know, so if you see handrail, add to stringer, and later you can also adjust the railing and the post and, splice connections and other things. Going back to my slide. Okay. So we'll go on to the model revision. So, a lot of people are not using the model revision tool. Okay. Model revision is a separate thing. And, sorry. Yeah. So, so okay, so more data for tracking will be available. Okay, model revisions and drawing revisions are basically different. So it's a quick, easy way to track and store the revision, you know, data inside your model. So this will permit you to generate a list at the later stage, which you can provide to your fabricator, and you can color the model. Okay, you can create a validation list, and you will not miss basically anything while submitting the model. So I'll just, what we can do is, so there are some location where, you can go and you can add some revision. So the first is you can go to a project setting, modeling, member revisions. So the first thing, do not mess with this zero. Okay. So make a new line and add your change orders here. Okay, so a reason a CO is one, and the reason is because. Okay, so let's save this. Now where's the next location? I can go to member edit, and I can go to any member, and if you go to the status, you can change it from here also, you know so the one I put in, or you can add a new revision. Okay, um, the next location is, if you go into imports, and if you export or import the IFC4, IFC2, or EM11, so what you can do, go to reference drawings, and when you import a model, so you have an option, default member status, where you can put a revision. Okay, so let's close this. Okay, now go to the model. You can also put revision in model directly. Okay, so let's go on to snap, on the plan view. Let's the depth check turn off. Now I select it. Okay, so one thing I want to do one thing. I'll just save this selection. I don't know how many people are using this. So what you can do, you can select the member, you can put this, and you can save this by area. Okay, now let's go on to the tool and your update attributes. You can, select the revision which you want to update, and by area. So you can select the area. You can also go by piece mark. So one thing I want to tell you, so whenever there is any revision, what you can do is, you can always select the member. You can add a note to that member, what exactly is going on. So section size is changed, or what exactly happened. Okay, and you have to grab all the members and just isolate what are the changes in those members. So and then send that list to the fabricator, and he can exactly tell you what is going on, whether the member is in the shop, whether it is in the field. So that will also affect how you're going to handle your revisions. Okay, so now we were talking about the reports. So what I will do, I will go above and I will go on to the reports, and I'll just go by member and member revisions. Okay, again, member and member revisions. and I can select the revision and I'll get a nice list of all the members which are modified by that particular list. Now I can also go by revision by member. So in that condition, I can just select, I can load the list, and and when I open it, if I press OK, so I get a list of, along with the reasons, so what all members are affected and what is the reason why those members are affected. Okay. So now next is what else you can do is, let's go and so let's run a status display. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open and put a magenta and I'll put some revision. This is my change order 1 and hit OK. You can see the color code of all the members which are affected. Okay. Yeah. Now, some people know about this, but many people do not know about this. So it's just for your reference. So now what you can do is you can go into your tools and you can send a 3D RFI of this. So if there are many fabricators who do not use SDS2, so you can always send them a 3D RFI. So, and just, I'll just keep it on desktop. So let me save this. Okay. So, okay, one thing, if you press yes here, it will directly open into Adobe. It's just a problem. So we are going to fix an upcoming version. So I'll just say no, and I will directly open from my desktop. So I'll just open this and it will open in blue beam. So now you have your 3D model and you can see all the color codes are there, which your customer can you can see. So there is one more thing. There is, if you go into the 3D and if you search for any piece mark, okay, so B50, so you can see how he has isolated the members, and you can use this PDF for now for review purpose also using this. So next, what I'm going to close. I'm again going to the model. So you can also take out a IFC file which contains the embedded data. So if you have any EM11 or IFC file. So if I go here, if I export EM11 and if I import the along with the custom properties, just keep it on desktop. I'll just save this and then you can send it to any of the IFC file reader. Now one more thing, if you have to do like select any member, add to the current selection or remove anything, so it's very easy. So just select what you can do. So whatever member you want to select, just select that member. Okay, again just go to that list and just select it and just save this. So this is how easy it is to just save a member. Similarly, if you want to remove from any selection, you just unselect that member, again go to that selection list, save it, and the member is removed. Okay. So it is pretty handy tool to do this task. Okay, one more thing, if I select this member and if I change any member, so for example I go here and I change this member to W14 by 22, W16 by 26. Okay, so now you know uh, you can pretty much remember everything. So what all members were there, and it's a damn solid system. So but there are a few things which you have to if you delete any member or you relocate a member, you have to just keep a watch on that. Okay, there's one more good thing. SDS, in SDS, when you go to detailing, SDS knows what all members are added or deleted. So you can see, you can load your list. Okay, and you have all the members need to be deleted, sorry, need to be detailed. Okay, there is one more thing I just want to show you. So if I go to my list and if I select the members, okay, so you can also detail the selected members. This is also a pretty good option where you can directly in SDS select the members and detail them directly. Okay, the last topic what we have for today's webinar is revision chart. So, a lot of people are still using manual option for, feeding the revision chart of any job. So I just give you some tips and tricks so you can, how to do it through system and how it will help you. So So let's talk about the revision chart. So, a lot of fabricators, or clients are there who are still using this and they are just putting text here. If you put any text here, it is, actually not getting added into the sheet. So, if you want to add it into the drawing, you have to use the sheet revision editor. So what happens is when you put the data here, it gets embedded into the sheet, and it can be used later into any MRP export, like your PowerFab or stores. So now let's go out of the sheet, okay, because I don't want to log this up. So, now there is a concern. Many people will ask, suppose I have 200 sheets. So, do I have to go to every sheet and edit this, and, it is going to take a lot of time. So there is a shortcut. So you can go into your utilities and change option and increment sheet revision. Okay, sheet revision. Okay, so here one thing I want to notify, there might be different sheets who might have different sheet revisions. So whenever you're doing it, be very careful, or you have a report where what sheet is on what revision, you have to keep a data, else this everything you cannot do undo for this, and you have to go manually and edit all the sheets, if you suppose mess up on 200 sheets, it will be a manual work. So there is one report which I want to show you. It's an old report, so you can go to your reports. You can go to systems, status report by sheet. So if you go here and if you just choose the revision level, and if you select the sheets and hit OK, so this will pop out a report, a nice clean report where all the sheet revision data will be there. Okay. So it will basically tell you what is the sheet and what is the revision level, what is the status of the sheet. Okay. And it will just give you a brief idea about what the sheet exactly status is. So, you know, so I do not fall something, like this, where your revision 0 and then 1 and again new 0 is there. So at least you have an idea what the sheet revision, and you can, update the sheet accordingly. So again, I'll go into my utilities and again my increment sheet revision. Okay, so now I'll select the sheets. And there are three methods. Either I can choose it numerically. So numerically, what I have to do is so that if it is a 0 revision, it will increase to revision 1. Okay. The second is alphabetic. That is revision will go from A to B. Okay. And the third is manual, where you can hit what the sheet revision is. Okay. Then what is the description? So it's IFF, and who has done this sheet or who has checked it. So this initial, and as I press OK, so you can see all the sheets are revised. Okay. Now system has increased all the sheet revisions to 0. So if I come back and if I open the detail, you can see my the sheet is now revised, and you can also see it is embedded all the drawing data also. Okay, sorry. again cast my screen. Sorry. Okay. So just go down. Sorry. So the last topic what we have is, so revision we have covered. So the next thing is new material files. So in my PPT, above PPT, I already told you. So, if you have any issue regarding your material file, try to go to toolbox item, update shapes and profile. There were earlier releases where some issue was there with the duplicate material. So always go and install this plugin. So at least you have all the profile size as per latest AIC 16th and CIS2 12th edition. And that's all for today. Thank you for your patience and your presence. And if there is any questions, you can ask me. Are there any questions? Shweta?
Yeah, hi Mohit.
Yeah, I, I
Yeah, there's
think there
one
is one
question.
question
Can you hear
in
me?
the chat. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
So, not audible. Okay, sorry. If I update the sheet revision using the change option, later realize that I entered the wrong date or need to modify the submission date later. How can I update? So I already told you in my PPT. So whenever you're using this change option, be very careful, because if once the sheet revision is updated, the, if you have to edit anything, that will be manual if there is any issue is there. Okay. Want to know like how we can make out keyboard configuration copy in 2023 to 25. Okay, so I have an option. I'll just show you. Okay, so so here what you can do, you can go to your utilities, you can go to custom interface. Okay, so once it is there, so this box will open. You can go to a modeling setting. Here you have your keyboard configuration option. Okay, so you can copy your keyboard configuration here. Ribbon configuration is also there. Even if you want to edit anything, you can go on to the edit window. So you will have this page where you can modify and edit anything which is required. Okay, so the next question is, how can I change my interface toolbar edit? Interface toolbar edit is Uh, this is the same option what I showed you. So I didn't understand. Can you again, Harsh Singh Thakur, can you again explain your second point? I didn't understand how I can change my interface toolbar edit. Shweta, can you unmute him?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Mohit. I was this
Hi.
side.
Hi.
Mohit, I just wanted to know that means if we are transferring to the Lightning mode from the 2023 version, the thing
Okay.
is that means the interface of the Lightning is just very different from the classic. So, like
Okay.
we used to have more shortcuts in the left toolbar
Okay.
in the classic.
Okay.
So, I just
Okay.
want to add those toolbar. Is there any option like how we can add those?
Yeah, this is the same thing. You can go into your custom interface, what I showed you. Okay.
Yes.
It will take some time to open. Actually, I just closed it. So in there only you can choose your configuration, okay, modeling, and then there you can go and you can go to edit option. And it's the same way how you used to deal with in the older version. So, okay, it's open. Okay. So you can go here, you can choose default, okay, and this option will open. So you can go to your detailler mode. Then this is your ribbon configuration. You can go to edit option and there you can do all the editing. So what all, how you want your page to be, you can do that. Okay, the second option, meanwhile the page is opening, is suppose you are using this configuration again and again, okay? Or suppose this,
Yes.
so what you can do, you can always pin or unpin this command. So what will happen? All the recent, there is a small line here. So all the recent command will be
Yes.
here and all the pinned commands will be here only. So by this also you can make your own customized, interface. And other
Okay,
than
okay,
that,
I got it.
yeah,
Yes.
and this is the page where you can, choose. So you can choose grid, navigate. These are the option and what all command you want. So in layout option is the same option what you have in your modeling command. So this is your layout option. So all these categories, if you want to add anything else, you can choose it here. Okay, you want to, how you want to move it and all that, everything you can do. So in layout also you can choose number of rows and spans in a other. It's it's hit and try thing. So you can choose that and you can change your interface. Yeah. Any other
Okay.
questions? Yeah. Please raise your
No,
hand
thank you,
if
Mohit.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Welcome, welcome. So we will be uploading the webinar recording. Okay, okay, that is Shweta only. Fine, okay. So I believe there are no more questions. Shweta, you can take over from here.
There's one more question, Mohit. Two more
Okay,
questions.
okay, okay. Hi, Mohit. In 2025, how to open modeling license directly? Okay. So what you can do is, I'll just show you. So, in you, if now in 2025, they have done few changes regarding to the licensing. So if you go to licensing, you can go to change edition. Okay. So I think I have something open here. Okay, just think some setting is open. Yeah. Okay. All the SDS2 machines should be closed before changing the edition. So I have to close my modeling license first and go here and close this. Okay. So if you go to change edition, I think there is some issue. Okay, no problem. If you face these kind of issues, what you can do is, I'll give you a small trick. Just go to here, okay, go to your C drive, okay, go to your users, your name, then go to app data, local, and then design data, and all the log files you can, just delete. Now, when you open your SDS license, you have to close it. Okay, I have to again open it, and all the old data will go and it will ask me again for the file name and all. So meanwhile, I'll just open one configuration. I think maybe it will help you. I'll just open one thing. Just give me. Okay. So in SDS 2025, what you can do is you see this. Okay. So what you can do is you can go to licensing, change edition. If you select the change edition, you all what all license your company is having. So whether it's ultimate, modeling, drafting will be shown here. Okay. And then you can choose your modeling license and that will be, start working. Okay. There is one more catch here. So if suppose, uh, so this is my, sorry, license management portal. Okay. So you always have to check whether you are allocated to the correct group. So for example, if currently if I see users and if I see my name and if I go here and if I check, okay, licenses. So I have been given access to all these licenses. Okay. So you have to first, check with your license admin guy, which all access is given to you and only those access will be populated here. Okay. What is the next question? Okay, just give me a moment. Mm, How to use search and replace in new interface? Search and replace. Search and replace, I think I have to again open SDS2 license. did a mistake. It's the same thing how you used to, same interface, all tools are same. The only thing they have changed the placement. That is the only thing, only change they have. So if you go into your modeling, just is there a way to open model and drafting license directly? No, there is no direct way of opening it. Okay. So if you are using, modeling and drafting license on one system, so it's better use a ultimate or a complete license. Or the thing is you have to close one system and then you have to open it again. This is the catch in the new licensing system. Okay, what we were asking. Okay, search and replace. So you can. I think it is there. I am not sure how to search and replace thing. I think it may be in the editor. I'll get back to you on this. I'll just see and I'll get back to you. Can you please show demo for welding options added in the newer version? And as mentioned below. Okay, so welding option, what they have done is if you export any IFC file, so currently I do not have a just give me a moment. So if I go into my properties, if I am exporting any IFC file, so what will happen? There are few more things are added. That is now you have your zone and sequences in welding also. Now it is capable of carrying out all the, weld related information. So if you are putting any weld related information into your IFC file, previously EM11 was the option, but now you have this option also. One more thing, there is one more option. If you go into your PowerFab settings, here also you have an option for exporting your. So here, if you see IFC file, so you have option for exporting the grid line, concrete joist and other. So all members I'll select. All member is basically all the members which are there in the project. So you can export the concrete joist and grid options also. So it's just the thing is when the customer will open the weld setting, he's able to, see it in his PowerFab. So I currently do not have a PowerFab, software here, but when you open that welding tab will get populated through the weld information. I will have a separate video for that. I might be conducting a webinar on this soon. So I will, give a more detailed description at that time. Shweta?
Yeah. So any
Okay.
more
How to get,
questions?
wait, how to get offline help in SDS2? Offline help. See, in SDS2, you have an option for borrow license where you can use an offline license. Okay. Okay. One small image is there. Okay. You need either a connection on internet or you need to install offline help for this version. Okay. So offline help is basically you can go to your project settings and you can, download the help option. So if you go here and you have your help option. So I think, yeah, sure. I will share the welding related information. Offline help is like when you need either a connection of internet to reach tech support or you need to install the offline help in this version of SDS. Yeah. So I think you can. So just give me a moment. I'll check whether we have that option here. So offline help, I have generally used it in online option only, but I have never tried it offline. I I'll share my screen. Sorry, I forgot. So if I go onto my license, so in my home, I have my option for help window. So I can always go here and all the project related setting and all is here Okay. So the one thing you can either save this, okay, or I think you can wait, I'll check. I might be having it in my system. If it is there, I'll paste it here itself. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So I have a offline help window, which is here. So I've saved it. If you want, what I can do, I can paste it here. So I can paste it into our chat. So just give me a moment. Okay, I cannot paste it here. No issues. Just write down your email ID. I will just save it here to you, send it to you, or you can also save it as a PDF.